RealEducation, RealEducation, SciFunaging, RealEducation, RealEducation, yeah. The real side chain, the real side butter chain. The fool.
Alright, so this dream happened a few days ago. I found myself walking. It kind of seemed like a block road. It was made of bricks, kind of like a mix of tan and reddish bricks. And I'm just walking down this. It was at night, and several of what I'm assuming were friends were walking alongside me. One of them was named Zach, another one named Bo, and I don't remember who the third person was. I know I know them, but I for some reason I cannot recall their name. But we're just kind of walking down this brick pathway, and the environment around us is just not really formed. It's kind of hazy, but the path that we're on together is very clear. So we're just walking along this, and we're talking like we're old pals, friends. We're just talking about just general life, things that happened during the week previous. And I was getting to the thought that this was the weekend. And we're just kind of making small talk about how work went during the previous week. And another Bo was kind of complaining about being worked to death and just he has no life because he has no time and he doesn't make enough money to really do anything despite working so many hours, which I kind of felt as a representation of kind of how the U.S. is going right now. It's literally on fire. It's become a shit show. But we're just discussing our daily woes, like normal friends would, as we're walking down this path. It's definitely night out, despite not really being able to see anything around us. And as we continue down this path, we're kind of looking to our right and to our left, and we kind of start noticing statues. Statue of men standing up tall and straight with their arms lifted above their head. At least that's what we think we see. Because it seems the further down this path we continue, the clearer the statues become. And it's not the same statue. It's different ones. Slightly different positions. They all seem to be pretty much the same, though. But they start becoming more and more clear and then focus the further we walk down this path. We're really not paying any mind or attention to it. And we started to notice that as the statues are becoming more clear, they're also getting closer and closer and closer to the path we're on. They're not moving, it's just their position is closer. And one's finally off the path by like 10 feet. There's grass on the ground, which before there was no external environment from the path that we were on. And the statue's just there. It's about like 15 feet tall, I would have to guess, from feet to head. It has his arms outstretched upward, holding a weight above us. We start noticing that there are clouds. They're a bit lower, but yet we could see the moon like clearly through it. But the cloud coverage is very thick. And the hands are lifting upwards as if they're holding the sky above us. One of my friends was getting philosophical, talking about an atlas holding up the world, the sky above us. It was an interesting conversation. It was just kind of small talk. And Zach wandered off the path and went over to the statue that was much closer. And in his general usual stuff, he starts chuckling because these statues are very detailed. It's kind of pointing out the curvatures of the clothing. They start looking like Roman style statues with the thin cloth very elegantly carved along the surface. The well trimmed body and tones just expertly carved. And we can tell the marble. And of course, Zach, as Zach usually is, he starts chuckling and he's like, "Yo, these are extremely anatomically correct." He's a pervert. Just put it in perspective. And we all just kind of roll our eyes and go, yeah, I'm sure they are. And then we just kind of look in that direction, and our jaws kind of drop. It's like, yeah, those are extremely anatomically correct. The statue had very pristine, beautiful set of testicles and an uncut cock. So you definitely have the foreskin. So that would definitely kind of point back to Roman-style statues, how they were. And of course, Zach's being his usual giggly self. We continue on the path. He's not walking on the path anymore. And next thing we know, we come up to another set of statues that are a bit closer. And we're waiting for Zach to make his usual lewd, childish comments. But we don't hear anything. So we start looking around. We realize that Zach is no longer with us. We're not really panicky, but we're just kind of looking around, just a little concerned. We start calling out his name. And there's no response. We don't see anything ahead of us. We don't see anything behind us other than a new set of statues. We're starting to get a little concerned at this point. Thinking maybe he stayed behind or he walked off the path further and he's probably being a pervert following one of the statues. So we decided we'd wait there for a little bit. And while we're waiting, we're just still small talking about the previous week. And Bo points out, "Hey, look at that statue. It's yet again another large statue, about 15 foot tall, arms outstretched wide up in the air." And I'm not quite getting what Bo is referring to. And he says, "Look. No, look closer." So I step to the edge of the path and squint my eyes. And a little bit of moonlight shines down through the clouds, kind of lights the area up as if it's a full moon in a clear night. And I notice the face on the statue is not like the others. I squint harder and say to the others, "Are you all seeing what I'm seeing?" And they're all start squinting and staring as well. Bo and the other one that I don't remember the name of, we're staring and we're realizing that statue's not like the others. It's Zach. He just disappeared. He seems to be the statue, or the statue has formed as him, as if it's stealing his identity. I'm not too sure. Well, we're concerned at this point. We're confused, and we walk over to the statue, and we start hearing this voice in our head. We're not sure what it's saying, but it's like beckoning us. And we can't seem to resist it. It's just an overwhelming internal force that's controlling us, repelling us.
I know how that is.
Can you mute, Eric? Thank you. Appreciate it. Good boy.
Sorry, bro.
Mm-hmm. We approach the statue, and the force is just driving us there. And the unknown person starts to giggle. And I'm looking back at them and I kind of shake my head. It's like, I don't think that what's so funny about this? Zach's gone and the statue looks exactly like him. The other statues did not. He just kind of points and walks over to the Zach statue and points lower. It just kind of points out that the statue's at full flag, as in heck of an erection. The other statues did not have it. And I don't know what came over me. I just kind of burst out in a laugh, shaking my head. Of course, Zach's disappeared and or died or turned into the statue in just classic Zach style. The statue, which he probably is now, is fully rock hard. 15-foot person, I mean, you can probably guess the size. An average is 5.5, 6 inches. I mean, the dick was 10 to 12 inches. Pretty hefty. And of course, they pointed out. That's one of the first things they see. I'm just shaking my head, but also chuckling on, Jesus, of course. This is classic Zach. What the hell? And we're not really fully comprehending what's going on here. Then Bo walks over and looks back at me and says, this doesn't just look like a statue. Sure, it seems to be stone, but look at it. There's a lushness to it. Almost a blush to the pearl white stone. As in some coloration. Some red, some tan skin color. I'm not understanding what he was talking about because I wasn't as close. And then Bo reaches up and I don't know why, but he just placed both of his hands on the back of the testicles, the sack, and his mouth kind of drops and goes, there's warmth. Not just warmth, there's heat. And he presses forward and the large sack kind of moves forward. I'm a little shocked. I mean, first of all, it's out of character for Bo to be lewd like that, but I guess I can see why he's interested. This is supposed to be a statue. It's anatomically correct, and it almost as if the stone is somewhat alive, and it does feel and move like flesh, it seems. And he hollers over going, this isn't just stone. This is real. I look up at the statue's face, and it's not looking down at us, with a very mischievous smile on its face. The same smile I see Zach get when he's just being an over-the-top pervert. But it's unmoving at that point. But it definitely did move to look down at us with a smirk. The other unknown person walks over with Bo and joins in. Now they're both manhandling the large sack and just kind of jostling it around. And I'm just hollering over, the hell are you doing? This is not the time to be playing with some weird gag. I don't know what you're doing. We need to figure out what's going on here. But they seem kind of lost. They can't help themselves. I'm almost mesmerized by the testicles that they're playing with. And they're holler over and says, you should come join. This is fun. Why walk away? Let's enjoy this moment. I'm shaking my head no, thinking they've gone crazy. They've all lost their mind. We need to keep moving or go back. And I keep telling them they need to come back over to the path, and they're just straight up refusing. And the longer they stay there, the less they start responding to me. Next thing you know, Bo's face is just smothered into the testicles. He's nuzzling into him, sniffing at him. I think he was even licking him. And the other unknown person was hanging from the base of the shaft, giggling and swinging around like they're monkey bars. And, of course, yeah, that's a bit impressive. You can hold the weight of a body, but I'm just trying to process what's going on here. It's like they've lost themselves. They've given to the sauce, is what I was thinking. And they both look back at me. And next thing I know, I feel something latch around my feet. Almost as if a second pair of shoes were tightly strewn about them, pulling me forward step by step by step. And I can't stop it, bringing me closer to them as they fondle and play their way through as if this was just a game. And they're just wanting to be sexually active to pass the time or to attract others. I'm unsure, but I'm trying to resist and I can't. There's nothing around me to grab onto. There's nothing on the ground I can lean over and sink my fingernails into to prevent me from walking further forward towards them. And the statue's mouth is now very wide. And a huge, huge toothy grin. They were no longer human teeth. They were like every tooth was like a canine tooth. Elongated, sharp. But it was smiling. Kind of like an evil gesture on its face. And the other Bo and the other one were no longer responsive. They've just lost themselves in worshipping the malehood of the statue. And each step by step, I'm getting closer and closer. The air is getting thicker and heavier. Musky, I could say. And before I got to the statue completely, I'm under the tip of the shaft. I snap out of it. Next thing you know, I'm hollering at them, we need to run. Run now. This is just a distraction, a trap to take you off the path. And I try running away, and I start moving away. But it's like trustling through thick, deep mud. Knee deep. I try hard and as fast as I can. But I'm just slowly trudging along back to the path. I look back at the others. They're no longer paying me any mind, and now they've completely given up, given in to their pleasure, their lusts, their primal urges and needs. I shake my head, wishing I could help them. But I know they're lost, and if I try to help them, I would be lost in their lust as well. And at that point, I had woke up. Thank you.
Real side king, real side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. Rebazar out here grilling, what he making, no faking. He's making a fat patty, sharp-walled awareness. We looking for that real side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King. Needless now out here grilling, what he making, no faking. He's making a fat patty, sharp-walled awareness. We looking for that real side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King. Real side chain, real side Burger chain. Real side chain, real side Burger chain. Real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King. Real side king, real side Burger King, real side Burger King, real side king, real side Burger King. The real side king, real side Burger King. The fool.